It's a beautiful day out there on this Thursday afternoon, and the rest of your Thursday will follow suit. More sunshine, more warm temperatures as we continue to stay dry and settle into a much different weather pattern than the one that we had to deal with the past couple of days that brought rain and thunderstorms. But instead, now we're just going to stay warm. We're going to stay dry. We're going to increase those temperatures ever so slightly as we go into the weekend. So at times might be a little sweaty, especially in the direct sunlight, but humidity is going to stay low. So these unseasonably warm temperatures for most of the time won't feel too bad. As we go into the weekend, including your Friday, there's that warm up I was talking about. We look to get slightly warmer pretty much every day, and those rain chances are going to stay off the board completely as we continue this warm up. Today, this afternoon, this is where we're expecting to go, right around those low 80s. That's where we already sit right now as sunshine is making its big comeback and settling back into Kansas City. That's what's going to allow us to stay warm today and the next several days, though some of us will be able to escape the 80s today. The same cannot be said for the upcoming weekend. So don't want you to think that these 70s are going to stick around too much longer. In fact, they're going right out the window as soon as we go into Friday at the latest. If not, the vast majority of us do look to hit those low 80s today. So the 70s right now are probably going to be the last you see of them near this peak of the afternoon for the rest of the weekend and even into next week. Here's a look at forecast highs today. You can see we sit just shy of that right here, right now in Kansas City. Elsewhere though, again, low 80s and upper 70s are what you can expect. But as we go closer to the evening time, it's going to feel great out there. Even with those temperatures in the 80s and a little warmer than they should be for late September, you'll notice that air is pretty dry out there. So it's not all that uncomfortable, and that means that it's able to cool off very quickly. That's why by 8 p.m. today, we can already expect the low 70s. A clear overnight will help us lose that warmth that we had in the heat of the day and have a cool and comfortable start to our Friday morning too. But it's not just this evening that's going to be absolutely gorgeous. It's going to be tomorrow and your Friday. So if you have any Friday night plans, if you're headed out to CBKC Stadium, things looking all good. We're not worried about a rain chance or storm chance, fortunately, this time around. Instead, the rest of the this weekend is going to be pretty much just as beautiful as today, just with a slight increase in those afternoon temperatures. That will put us in the mid 80s Saturday and Sunday. So while Friday brings us an afternoon right around 83 with tons of sunshine, you can expect it to get warmer after that. By Saturday and Sunday, that's when our highs for this time of year should be in the mid 70s. Instead, we'll be 5 to 10 degrees warmer than that all across the area. So unseasonably warm, these temperatures are more characteristic of about June. So that's kind of what we're dealing with as we go through this first full week of fall with more early summer like conditions. And it's all due to this large and expansive high pressure system that's going to pass us by over the weekend. We could see that already starting to build out to our west right now, but that's really going to get bigger and more dominant throughout your weekend, Saturday and Sunday, passing us by, just cranking up those temperatures into the mid 80s. Again, as I mentioned, that's much warmer than we should be for this time of year, but we're not dealing with too much humidity. So that means that we're not really looking at hazardous heat by any means. It's just a little warm, just a little sweaty in at the heart of the afternoon. Keep that in mind. If you do have any afternoon plans, it's not going to feel like September by any means. Instead, you can expect those temperatures in the 80s to stick with us for the foreseeable future, and even into late next week is what we're seeing down the line on that. Though what high pressure systems are really good at is helping us stay rain free. Sometimes they aren't as successful, but this time they definitely will be. And we'll keep those rain chances off our forecast for the next 7 days as of right now. Of course, we'll let you know if that changes, if we start to get some signals that say otherwise, but we're just going to continue to stay dry. That means that your Sunday forecast, any watch parties, if you're headed out to Arrowhead, if you're tailgating out there, going to be nice, rain-free, again, a little warm, especially during the tailgates with that mid-afternoon kick. That will mean that we'll cool off through the game, but pretty much just through the 80s. We'll be getting much more comfortable essentially as soon as that sun does set, getting into the 70s on that drive home. And maybe if just in general you're kicking it at home, by the time you're wrapping up for the evening, you can expect those temperatures to be cooler for sure. Otherwise, though, sunny and warm. Again, rain not a concern with this game, which we're very thankful for. And humidity won't be all that bad either. I mean, it's not completely comfortable 24/7, but it is doing much better than what we've had to deal with, especially in the month of August. So could be a little humid from time to time this weekend and early next week, but overall, pretty good, pretty dry, pretty nice, pretty comfortable, all the good characteristics associated with this forecast. The only downside is that since we don't have a lot of moisture in our atmosphere, that does mean that we're going to struggle to find rain. This is a look at the first few days of October. And that brown color that you see there over a chunk of our area means that we're looking to stay drier than normal. Now, even with the rain we got the past couple days, that was great. That was really helpful for our environment, which is pretty stressed right now. But as we look down the line, we keep those temperatures warm and we don't really have a good rain chance in sight at this time. That does mean that our environment is likely going to stay stressed for at least the start of October. And we can even see that right now on our drought monitor. This came out this morning. Now, it doesn't take into account Tuesday or Wednesday's rain, but it does the week prior to that. That was about 1/3 of an inch that swung through. But you could still see that tannish brown color indicating moderate drought, and how that's creeping outwards from downtown on outside the loop, even down into Johnson County, closer and closer to Topeka. So we're really starting to see this map light up with more colors, not in a good way. We don't want to see colors on this map. Instead, that just indicates that we are finding extremely dry environmental conditions and drought conditions for a lot of us right now. On your Security Bank 7-day forecast, you can see how as we move forward in time, we're not looking to tap into really any rain. We don't have a reasonable rain chance on the board at this time. Instead, just a lot of sunshine, which is nice and enjoyable, but we'll also keep those temperatures in the warm 80s, unseasonably warm 80s at that. While the next couple of mornings as we kick off the day in the mid to upper 50s, you may want a long sleeve out the door, maybe send one with the kids again tomorrow morning. But you won't need it in the afternoon, so make sure it comes back home with them after school, because I'm sure that they will likely ditch it right around recess time. Again, that current game looking great. That Chiefs game on Sunday also looking wonderful, staying dry, just a little warm out there, so make sure you're drinking plenty of water, wearing sunglasses, and sunscreen's not a bad idea either. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your Thursday afternoon, and of course we'll always be keeping you updated on any changes to the forecast.